everybody. So you're wondering how you, oh, I have something stuck in my throat. Sorry. So you're wondering how you might be able to monetize what you're doing, the digital offerings, the digital Torah that you're sharing. We're going to talk about a couple of options for you today on Torah Tech Tips. Sorry about that. I wasn't quite ready for the countdown to go all the way down. Hi, everybody. David Paskin, your Torah Tech guy, and I'm here on Torah Tech Tips to share with you some great tech for your great Torah. So here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about different ways that we can monetize the Torah that we're sharing out in the interwebs. I have a sense that fundraising, it's not that I have a sense. This is no new chiddush. This isn't some great novel idea that I have. This is happening in the world, right? That fundraising, the way funds are raised is changing drastically. If you look at Kickstarter, if you look at GoFundMe, all those different platforms that allow people to build communities around fundraising, it's really, really powerful stuff. And in the Jewish world, I think that we have an opportunity to capitalize on some of that momentum, some of that community building. I was actually thinking, the other day I was driving, I was thinking, what's the original social network? A synagogue or a church or a mosque, right? A synagogue is the original social, why is that making noise? Sorry. The synagogue is the original social network, and so we should be embracing these new platforms, these new ways to fundraise, to capitalize on the wonderful Torah that we're sharing out there. Hi, Dahlia. What do I need? I need a new sign? No, I like my sign. That's from Dahlia. All right, so I want to share two different platforms with you that can help you do this and a couple of different ways to actually implement that in what you're doing. So let's jump over to the computer and take a look. So the first one is called, if you've been on my website, you've probably seen this. It's called buymeacoffee.com. Great name. There are a few different ones out there like this, by the way. Buy Me a Coffee is the one that I use. What's nice about Buy Me a Coffee is that it allows people to participate in building something together. So there are two different ways that you can use Buy Me a Coffee. The first is through just generic support. So if people want to buy me a coffee, they can buy one coffee or two coffees or three coffees, however many they want to buy. You can set the price for each coffee, and you can also change the name. It doesn't have to be Buy Me a Coffee. I don't really drink coffee. I was thinking about Buy Me a Soda, but I don't know. That's not... I just left it as Buy Me a Coffee. Actually, at one point I had Buy Me a Chai Latte. I thought that would be cute. But then it turns out that most people had no idea what I was talking about. So I put it back to Buy Me a Coffee. People could do this. You connect it to a Stripe account, which is one of the the online banking tools that you can use to get money. You assign it to a Stripe account. You assign your Stripe account to your bank account, and bada bing, bada boom. Every time you get a payment through Buy Me a Coffee, it ends up right in your bank account. That's the first way to do it. The other way to do it is through membership. Like I have one called Reach More, Teach More. And if you join a membership, then what happens there is it sets up you can do either a yearly membership or a recurring membership. So if you wanted to create something, a digital membership idea, right? This could be an interesting way of implementing that. But it's also just a nice way to invite people to say, thank you for the great Torah. Thank you for the Devar Torah. Thank you for the beautiful prayer leading, whatever, the beautiful class, whatever it was. If you use Buy Me a Coffee, it offers people, it's like a tip jar. It offers people the opportunity to thank you and to become part of something bigger than just themselves. The other option is PayPal.me. So you all probably know about PayPal. So if you go to PayPal.me, you can sign up and get your own URL. Mine is PayPal.me/Rabbi David. And basically you just put some basic information in. You invite people to click on the send button. They can then log in, or here, I'll try and log in so that we can see if this actually works. So people can log in with their account. If they don't have a login, they don't have to, and then they can just choose whatever amount they want, and they can send that to you right through PayPal. So PayPal.me is a great source if you don't want to have any guidelines for what people can give. Buy Me a Coffee is fantastic if you want to set some steps that people can go to. So the question then is, so how do you get this information to the people who are watching your Torah, watching your services, things like that? Well, you can't put a link on a video, live video, and have it be pressed. You can do that after the fact. You can insert on YouTube live links on your videos. That's something you would have to do in YouTube. But what you can do for live services or live classes is a couple different things. First of all, you can just pull up a lower third, right? You could create a lower third. You can do this natively in Zoom. You could do it very easily with Ecamm is what I use, or some other sources also. But let me see if I have, do I have a lower third available here? I don't think I do, actually. No, I don't have the one I was looking for. But you know what? I'm going to create one right now. Why not, right? So let's go back over to my Buy Me a Coffee. All right, let's go to Buy Me a Coffee, and I'm going to grab the URL. So my URL, which is the web address, is buymeacoffee.com/TorahTechEye. So now I'm going to come into my app that I use, Ecamm, and I'm just going to really quickly create a lower third. And I'm going to put that URL in here, support my Torah at www.buymeacoffee.com/TorahTechEye. Right? Done. Boom. That gives me this little overlay here. And so now, if I were leading a service or something like that, I could simply bring this up. People can see it right there on the stream, and they know to go to that website. That's one option. And that, between you and me, that's actually the option that I prefer. I'm a website kind of guy. I prefer websites. But there is another option. And if you have people that are using mobile or are more comfortable with mobile, and I would have to say that I think the vast majority of people who are consuming Torah, consuming services, things like that, are probably doing so on mobile. Another option would be to create a QR code that you can just, again, pop up on the screen of your stream, whether it's YouTube or Facebook. So if I were to take that same URL, HTTP, actually, you know what? I'll just copy it from up here. So I'm going to go here, copy that, and I'm going to paste it in. And now you can see on the right-hand side here, this is now a custom QR code that if you were to point your phone at it, would immediately take you to my link. And there are lots of different versions of it. They even have one, I guess they have, right? If you sign in, you can even use one. They have one made for Buy Me a Coffee, which is kind of cool. Lots of different versions here, lots of different colors. None of them matter. They all go to the same place. A QR code, the way it works is you open your phone, you point it, you open the camera, you point it at the QR code, and then if you have any of the latest phones, a little link will pop up and you click on that and it'll take you right to that website. So a couple different ways to implement this. One is to show the URL, as I'm doing down below here, right on your stream. Another is to use a QR code. If you think people might be watching on a computer or a TV or something and you want them to just be able to scan it, that would be great also. A third option, which is probably the most obvious, is to make sure that you put this information in the description of your video. You should have standard text for the description of your video that includes all the important information, right? It includes your website, it includes how to reach the rabbi or how to reach you if you're the teacher, and maybe a link to your Buy Me a Coffee page or your PayPal.me page so that people can thank you and support the important work that you or your institution, your community is doing. And remember, here's the last takeaway I'll give you. This isn't just about raising money. This is about building a community around something that we share, a value that we share, the value of learning Torah. And if you can give people, empower people to be a part of that, even in small ways, so we're not talking about raising thousands of dollars. We're talking about a $5 coffee, right? An $18 gift, whatever it is, those little things add up and they help build a community around your Torah, which is the real power of using digital tools to share Torah out in the world. So, hey, speaking of places you may want to go visit, you might want to go visit my website, TorahTechGuy.com. And yeah, there are opportunities there and links there if you want to say thanks for the work that I'm doing, for you to do that also. I use Buy Me a Coffee over there. But there's lots of other resources for you there, and I'd love to connect with you and help you and support you in whatever you're doing and how you are sharing your best Torah. So that's what I got for you this week, my friends. Buy me a coffee, paypal.me, using either the link as a lower third or bringing the QR code up, right? Or just putting it in the description. Simple ways to build a community around supporting your Torah and the important work that you're doing. I'll see you next time on Torah Tech Tips. Bye.